What's up, Gear Mortals? Trey Xavier here. On today's edition of Gear God's Quality Control, we're going to be taking a look at the Caparison Through and Through Special. So what we have here today is the Caparison TAT Special, and TAT stands for Through and Through, and the reason is that it's a neck-through guitar, unlike a lot of the Caparisons which are bolt-on. This one is a 7-string model, and it's got a lot of really cool appointments, not the least of which is a very nice satin finish on this beautiful flame maple top in a sort of natural look. The disappearing clocks inlay, which I didn't notice this before, but the time on the clock matches the number of the frets. So we have 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, etc. The clock inlays are a signature Caparison thing. This guitar sports one of my very favorite headstocks, the Devil's Tail. I think this is one of only 2 headstock designs that they make. The other one is also cool, but this one just gets me. I love it. We have Goto non-locking tuners on this guitar, probably because there's a locking nut. This guitar has a very interesting and unique electronic switching configuration. So we've got just a 1 volume knob, and a 3-way switch. But then we've got this 4-way rotary switch, which took me a little while to figure out exactly what was going on with that. So basically, typical 3-way switch for the 2 pickups, but when it's on the middle position, that's when you can use this rotary dial to get 4 completely unique sounds. The first position on the rotary splits the coils on the neck pickup so that you only hear the bottom coil. The second position does the same thing for the bridge humbucker for the first coil. The third position gives you both of those together in parallel. And then the fourth position gives you both humbuckers full output in parallel. The bridge on this guitar is a floating Floyd Rose licensed Schaller SFRT2, which was set up really, really well until I ruined the setup by putting some heavy gauge strings on here. That is my bad. It still plays really great, and actually it still flutters even with a 68 on the low B here. And that's pretty fucking impressive if you ask me. Something else I really liked about this guitar was the 27 frets. While the 27th fret, which you probably wouldn't use that much, is a little tough to get to, the typical access to the 24th fret is incredible, and actually to the 25th and 26th, you're still really good. So if you consider that most guitars don't even have that many frets, it's still a massive advantage. It's a little confusing to get used to at first, but after just a little while, you'll be ripping away. If you follow this channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of neck-through guitars, and this one is no exception. I feel like anytime a sort of metal guitar has a black headstock instead of a matching one, it's sort of a tribute to like the 80s and 90s shredder guitars that sort of all had these either brightly colored or whatever nice natural finished bodies, and then these black headstocks. And of course the Caparison is a sort of shred god guitar, so that makes sense. Personally, I like a matching headstock better, but you know, what are you gonna do? It still looks really nice. It's a nice sort of matte black, which I'm a big fan of matte finishes. I didn't used to be, but they have come to very much grow on me. The neck is a 5-piece walnut and maple neck through with a mahogany back, and then a thick as all get out flame maple top. Comes in a couple different colors, I think blue and red, as well as this natural maple finish. The fretboard is ebony, which is much more popular these days as rosewood becomes a lot harder to come by. And I am very much on board with this. I do not like rosewood as a fretboard all that much. I think ebony looks better and is just better in pretty much every way. And it's got this nice white binding all up and down the neck. The scale length is 25.5 inches, which is about the shortest I would go for a 7-string. It'd be cool if we could get one in 26.5 or 27 inches. I just had to put some slightly heavier gauge strings on it for that low B. I feel like pretty much the only thing that could be improved about this guitar are some of the contours on the body. I feel like we have a little kind of token cutaway here that could have been a lot deeper on both sides. Even though the access is quite good, these sort of 90-degree edges here are not quite as nice to play on as they could be. I wish we had a forearm contour like the one on the other Caparison that I reviewed. That would make it a great deal more comfortable to play, but it wasn't really that huge of a deal. I imagine they would not really be all that excited about cutting through this really nice, thick flame maple top. Overall, still pretty comfortable, pretty good tummy cut here, and for the kind of quality that we're talking about in a guitar, it's something that you could easily overlook as the rest of the playing experience is top-notch. The Through and Through Special proves that Caparison is still at the top of their game and one of the top players in the shred guitar universe. So if you're looking for a really high-end, fast-playing guitar that looks really, really awesome and will make you look like a freaking shred god on stage, you should definitely check out the Through and Through Special from Caparison. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe for more reviews and original content, and I will see you soon.